Working through my anger with my ex has been really challenging for me because it's something that's still happening. The things that he did in the past, a lot of it he's still able to do now because we share a child together. And one of the things that I'm realizing is that I struggle with feeling like I'm being mean or a bully when I'm setting boundaries, because it's really difficult when you have a child, because a lot of the times it'll feel like you are using your child as a weapon, when a lot of the times it's not. That's not necessarily the case. So for example, in the relationship, it got really bad. It got abusive. There was so much deceit and lying that it was hard to maneuver through. And eventually we lost our house, and I went back to my parents with our daughter. And he went to rehab, and hopefully he's still clean. um, but in that, I was able to get away from the abuse, right? I was able to start to regulate my nervous system and get out of that fear state. And for a lot of the stability, I'm able to learn how to create for myself now. But he still has his part in this relationship because we share a child together. So there's so much that's still put on him that I hold to a standard that he doesn't hold to a standard. So helping me financially with her, he doesn't hold to a standard. Seeing her, like splitting time with her, he doesn't hold to a standard. So I have all of this put on me, and it's overwhelming, and it's very hard to not feel anger and frustration. It's so hard to not want to text him and be like, what the F is your deal, dude? And it's taking a lot of time to separate myself and detach in a way where I still allow a little, not a doorway, but a window for change. So if he wants to be the parent, because as a parent, I'm going to hold you on a high standard. Especially, I have two other kids with two other men. And I never felt like I was fully a single parent because they always took responsibility for their child. They always got their child on the weekends. They always helped me with everything that I needed. And now all of this is on me. And I'm like, no, because I know what it takes to be in my child's life. I know what it takes to be a father to my child, and you're not doing it. So you're not going to have these normal rights. I'm not going to have this open door for you to walk in with a bare minimum. I'll have a window open if you want to attempt to crawl through, but you're going to have to actually show me things. And right now, I one of the things that I decided that I'm going to tell him is, since he got out of rehab, he hasn't been able to find stable work. And I've been super understanding about that. I'm the one that pushed him to rehab. I was fully aware of the consequences when he got back. I knew I wasn't going to get child support. However, the money that he is getting is being spent in ways where I feel like making sure your daughter has food and training diapers and little stuff like that is more important than making sure that you have nicotine and you have internet. You know what I mean? So I'm sitting here kind of stewing in that. And there's been multiple times where he's like, all right, right after this side job, I'm going to go and I'm going to deposit $100, $75, whatever he says at the time. I'm going to deposit it into your account. And then the next day comes and I don't really hear from him. And then the next day comes and he'll just like mention something else and act like he never said that. And I never get the money. I never get the help. And I decided that from now on, he's going to be held at this standard. So if he says he's going to do something and he doesn't do it, I'm not going to be in communication with him until he addresses that issue, until he lets me know why he didn't do that. Because it's almost like a child, right? Like, I'm not going to address even your existence until you let me know why you did not keep your word. And in return, I hope that he would just avoid even making the promise to begin with, because he knows that he's going to have like this drama of having to explain himself if he doesn't follow through with his word. So we'll see how that goes. I wanted to share because one of the things I really want to do in the end, because I don't have hate for him, I think that when he's in his light, there's a good connection between us, and not in a relationship way, but in a different way where I really think that we can communicate well in a way to help others who are in relationships, who are in a relationship with someone who struggles with addiction, and seeing both sides of that. So that's where I want to get to, and I'm afraid that we'll never get to that point. But I wanted to share, just if anyone's listening who has been or is in a relationship with someone who struggles with addiction, and keeping those boundaries when you have a child with them, and maneuvering through that, I just wanted to express that because I feel like it's really important, and also frustrating because you kind of have to treat them like a child. But it is what it is, and I just wanted to share.